Fluxing.
It's
It's
working!
working. Yep, we are live. We are good to go. All systems checked and up and going. Welcome everybody to Con Culture Podcast. We are back.
Hello!
Um, Before we give our spoilery review, we got more stuff to talk about this week. Um, but we are still, make no mistake, riding the high from the premiere last week that we're going to talk about, and will probably be the majority of the show. Uh,
It's all we've talked about for the past
it's
week,
all
just amongst
I've
ourselves.
seen it twice, and I want to go see it more. I'm so
I
into
don't,
that movie. It was
I don't think there's been a day you don't go by going, they call him
Gulkan.
Gurkan!
I'm just walking around. Anytime somebody aggravates me or frustrates me in any capacity, I'm like, "You bald-headed demon."
Glory to Haruman.
Oh, it's one of my favorite lines. There's so many quotables in that movie. So much. I'm just
But we'll
all
dive
for it.
into that.
Yeah, but we'll get into that.
Before we dive into anything else and get anything else, should we get into an app real quick and go
Oh,
live?
we should go live. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, we should go live on TikTok. I'm gonna pull up my phone and mess with my electronics. Oh, I was already gonna start watching TikTok. I bet you it was a thirst trap too. It's always a thirst trap
Probably.
when your like phone opens. It's like,
With that
yeah.
Sam Smith song.
What's there's a what?
At the body shop.
Oh yeah,
Something
yeah. There's no way
unholy
you're watching any content that is wholesome, informative,
with
or
unholy on
like
it.
yeah. If that song's on, you know what you're watching. Everybody looks over at you like
Everyone's like,
you
you looking
you
at ass, ain't
you
you?
paying way
You
too
looking
much attention.
at
That thirst trap, that's a thirst trap. All your business out there on Front Street, it's messed up, man. Come on, TikTok,
something unholy.
doing me dirty like that. Let's see. Black Panther spoiler review. Like a week late. But I feel it's a good time because you give
Pick it up
people
one time.
yeah, you give
Yeah,
people plenty of time because most people are doing their spoilery reviews like on Sunday. Like, what if I had to work all
that's like
weekend? God damn it!
exactly. It's like
You get
fuck.
no chill. All right, I need to get one of those Vivo or Vervo like mounts. I don't know if you've seen the ads for that.
Oh,
That thing looks interesting. The Vervo Vivo. All right, I'm live on TikTok. Trey, you want to get in here and join me? I will.
you see, I'm refreshing.
It is refreshing to be on
Oh,
TikTok.
there you are. There
Am
you
I
are.
here?
Here we go.
Yeah.
I joined.
I'm inviting you to my live.
Oh, except let me turn on my
I gotta
camera.
ban you from here now.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
All right.
You bald headed demon. Yeah, no, this isn't
I
gonna
am a
work.
bald demon.
Like my freaking because my phone was dying. My charger's like, mm, so I can't like charge. I need a wireless charger. That's what I need. All right, we're just gonna
Those
try to see how long
bougie
we're
chargers.
gonna see how long we can stay live with the battery life I have,
Yeah,
and
keep
hope
an
for the
eye on
best.
it. Yeah.
Hoping for the best. But we're here. We're on TikTok. We're on Twitch. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're in Facebook groups. We're everywhere. So again, welcome to Con Culture Podcast. We got some con news, don't we, Trey? We have a lot to
Yes, we
cover,
do.
but
Something super.
we always start off with con news. And yes, it is super. Trey, the superhero car show and Comic Con has tickets on sale now. So if you want to get the lowest prices you're going to get for this show, now is the time to get your
Now's the time.
tickets, get your VIP packages. And I know what you're saying, but I don't even know what guests are going to be there. How do I know if I want to go? First of all, it's an amazing show. You're going to want to go. Second of all, when have they ever had a show that didn't have A-list talent?
Yeah, Babo is never
Yeah,
disappointed.
I don't think he's
Ever.
gonna start disappointing now. Bobo always delivers the biggest stars. Last year, Haley Atwell, Simu. Um, we had Giancarlo. Like there was so
Ewan
many. Ewan
McGregor.
McGregor. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're gonna have to worry about that. It started off with Ben
Hogan.
Affleck and Jason Momoa, Ray Fisher. So yeah, Don't worry, you're gonna get your money's worth at this con.
To me, like that show was this past year's show was it getting back on its feet again after the pandemic. So
Yes.
you know it's only going to get
Oh yeah.
better, even with the list.
Yes.
Because finally all these star schedules are getting back on schedule and everything. Like they can actually do events like these
They
again.
are. They are actually Fan Expo. Not to interrupt into this story, but that reminds me, Fan Expo just signed an exclusive deal with shit. I'm drawing Joseph Quinn,
Oh,
Stranger Things.
nice, Eddie.
So
Eddie.
you will only see Eddie at a Fan Expo show. It's an exclusive appearance deal with Fan Expo headquarters, who are always so kind and generous to us, always so nice, giving us access to Fan Expo Dallas, Fan Expo
I've
Denver.
heard nothing but good things about him at the cons. Like he's just the sweetest person. Like if anything, like I'm trying to remember what event it was. I think it was in the UK or maybe here in the
Yeah,
States, but the staff were getting upset with him because he was taking too long talking with his
yeah.
fans. It's like, fuck
He's
off. I want to talk with my
he's the kind of
fans.
guy. He's so sweet and definitely all about the fans. But the Superhero Car Show has announced their first guest for the 2023 year, and it's going to be Tony Parker of the San Antonio Spurs. Will be the
The
first.
champ, the GOAT.
Will be the
That's
first.
right. He's the
The
GOAT.
French goat. He's the French Michael Jordan, they call him. So, yeah,
Yes.
I love me some Tony. I love me some Superhero Car Show. So, I'm excited for this con, and I know it's going to be great. We're going to be there regardless of what the guest list looks like. So, I'm pumped for it. I'm excited, but that's not the only con news. There's more con news that is closer. The closest one is Los Angeles Comic Con just released their guest list, and we're talking Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, like fandoms from all over. Sean Astin, Elijah Wood. We're gonna have several Power Rangers there. They're approximating.
Don't tempt me
I'm telling
further.
you, it's gonna be December 2nd through the 4th in Los Angeles, and of course, you're in Los Angeles. You're gonna have some huge stars. So they have a huge
Oh yeah.
145,000 people are going to attend the con. So we're talking the
Man.
largest Comic Con in the country, attendance wise, is what they're
Jeez.
estimating. And yeah, we were unable to go this year. They were super sweet and kind and giving us press access. We just weren't able to, but we definitely told them we'd be telling people about it. And that's exactly what
Life and
happened.
the universe just said, not
Not
this year.
this year. Inflation was like, land the plane.
Yeah.
Land the plane. But that's
Yeah.
all right. We're still going to talk them up. We still can't wait to go. Hopefully, we get the opportunity next year. Los Angeles Comic Con, amazing stuff. But there is something nearby we might be able to drive to. Very close. San Marcos, a few hours away. Etchy
Kidney.
Expo. I think that's how you pronounce it. Etchy Expo
Yeah.
is December 9th through the 11th. This is an 18 and up only expo.
A lot of spicy cosplays from
A
what I
lot of
hear.
spicy cosplays, some very, very nice cosplayers, and great art. If you're a fan of the hentai, I think that's what they call it.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of,
I wouldn't know.
you wouldn't
I
know.
wouldn't
I
know
wouldn't
though.
either. If you're a fan of the nudie sketches, then Etchy Expo is the place you need to be. San Marcos, Texas. Etchy Expo 18 and up only con. I always thought that concept was cool. Never been to one, but I think I might have to find a way to get there at least one of the days. It's Friday through Sunday.
Just sneak in. We'll just sneak in.
We'll just slide in. Just nobody notice us.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
be the inflatables.
We'll just throw out some, new art out there to distract them, and they'll go running for it, and then we'll just run in.
Just distraction hentai cards. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's how you get past security, folks.
Exactly.
Yes. But yeah, so Etchy Expo, San Marcos. That's all the con news we have for the most part.
That's what's on the radar
Yes,
right now, for sure.
That is what's on the radar. But I want to get your thoughts. How do you feel about expos and cons getting exclusive appearance deals with actors and actresses?
I think it's great for the events themselves, but for the actors and stars, I feel like it's limiting them when they could do so much more. Because I know, like, I don't mean to rap on some of these stars. They've kind of they're not A-list celebrities anymore. So, they kind of depend on these cons, make a little extra revenue besides their
Yeah.
royalties. And if they're just limited to one franchise over one brand of cons, like, I don't know. Like, I'm sure they pay them very well. I'm sure they get their cuts and
Yeah.
everything, but I I would love to see Joseph Quinn at the superhero car show. But if he's limited to Fan Expo, like, his hands are
Yeah.
tied.
Yeah. He can only do those shows, and he can only be there. Yeah. Granted, Fan Expo has like 6 or 7, maybe 8 shows now, and I think it's going
Right.
worldwide. But
Like, it's a good one to be a part of for
mhm.
sure. At the same time, there's also so many other conventions that happen throughout
Yeah.
the year.
Yes. But that's kind of the decision they've made. I think, like you said, it has its pros and cons. Yes, you get
Yeah.
this guaranteed guest that'll be at all your shows exclusively through you, so it gives you an exclusive draw. But the larger Comic Con scene does suffer from it. But it seems to be happening with just larger A-list talent or talent that's in high demand. It doesn't
Right.
seem like it's affecting, some of the other talent that, like you said, really depends on the con scene.
Mhm.
So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. If this starts a trend of just buying up exclusive celebs
I wouldn't be
to your
surprised.
show, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. But we'll have to.
Actually, like you said, if you have multiple events throughout the year, it's like, yeah, like that's really smart on their
Yeah,
part to do
it makes
that.
sense. It makes sense. We've already seen hints of that with Fan Expo, with the Hobbits appearing in Dallas and then again appearing in Colorado, and then I think it was Boston. Like they were all over the Fan Expo
Yep.
scene. So yeah, I think it makes sense for them because they have so many shows in so many cities to give you a nice draw on every one of those. But that's it for the con news. Now, where we're probably going to spend the majority of our time is in Black Panther.
Okay, we're
We're
diving into the
diving into this
spoilers.
tier fest of a film.
All
Into
right,
the
this
spoilers.
is this is your
Yes.
warning. If you haven't seen this film, you may want to like come back in about, I don't know, 10,
Yeah.
15 minutes.
I would come back in 10, 15 minutes.
Hold
Yeah.
on. We have a comment here in the chats saying, "Can't hear you, no sound."
That's which is odd because I just checked after reading that.
Hmm. Let me double
Yeah, no,
check.
I can hear us on Twitch. I hear us just I thought I heard us just fine on Twitch.
Nope, I can't hear us on
On
the Twitch.
Twitch? What's going on, Twitch? Jesus. I can hear us on Facebook. Yeah, something's going on here. Why
Hmm.
Twitch? We're going to have to stop the presses here.
Oh, now he's saying he can hear us. Okay, I see how it is. I can't hear it though. Like, I'm trying to listen to the
Are
live and I
you?
can't hear it.
Because I.
Yeah. So now I can't tell if he's joking about joking. Like, I don't know who to believe anymore.
He's joking. Obviously, I checked.
Okay.
I checked Facebook. I checked Twitch. I checked everything.
It must be my settings. I mean, because like I have Twitch
I
playing
know
here in
I
the
can hear
background. I can't
myself
hear,
echoing through your Twitch.
oh well. As long as you can hear it, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
I did turn up my volume, sir, and I
It's
can't hear it, but that
messing
doesn't
with my
matter.
head. Our speech is on delay, and I'm hoping that the mic is not like.
But all right. Final warning: if you have not seen Wakanda Forever yet, turn away. Come back in a few minutes because we are going to dive into this with tons of spoilers.
Yeah,
You ready,
I'm
sir?
ready. I'm ready to cry because that movie was.
I haven't stopped crying.
I'm gonna give you that. I'm
Like
gonna give you that.
that's my secret.
I'm
Cap.
always
I'm
crying
always crying.
for sure. That movie for me
Right out the gate.
was, yeah. I think that's the biggest takeaway is that it starts so fast. Like I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting this movie to just boom. We gotta face it right out the gate. And the title, first of all, the title card. Oh, it doesn't even start with that title card. Actually, that's right. We just come in and
No.
And Shuri's in
We're
prayer.
in the lab.
She's in prayer, which is not Shuri's thing. She is very science based, not into the whole faith, and doesn't really believe in the ancestral plane too much. Like, she has her doubts. She puts her faith in science. So to see Shuri praying, and that's how we're starting this, that kind of establishes the severity of the situation. And she's trying to replicate the herb because we find out T'Challa's dying. And it's a mysterious illness. He kept it from everyone, and now it's coming. And she's trying to do it. She's using all her intellect. She's panicking. She's about 25% there. She tries it. And then you see Angela Bassett walk in.
Too late. And I love how, like, her coworkers and like her people are like, you need to go be by his side. And she's literally like, I need everyone out. I can't think right now. Everybody get out. Like, this has to work.
And it's just her and her AI. And then the Queen walks in, and the acting from Angela Bassett in this movie
throughout the whole movie
was but that set the tone when she like asks her AI, which is voiced by Trevor Noah. I did not know that. That is awesome.
The Wakandan Suri.
But it was so chilling because when she asked for his heart rate, like, it sinks in.
He doesn't even answer.
Yeah, it sinks in. And you know that.
And then just silence.
Yeah. Yeah. So we cut from there, we cut to the title card. And the whole theater's, like, you could hear a pin drop. You just see the title card, and it's like, what, 20, 30 seconds, moment of silence while the title card's coming?
It's the traditional length of the Marvel intro, you know, the flashes of all the comics, different characters, but it's just all Chadwick.
It's all our King, T'Challa. And right there, that's when they started for me.
That's when it got real. Like, it was just like, he's gone. And it just dived more into that emotion. Just, he's gone. He's not coming back.
Funeral scene. Oh, I'm sorry. I think the title card came after the funeral scene. No, it didn't? Okay.
No. If I remember correctly,
but either way, we get the funeral next, and that again was more intensity. You could see the beauty of Wakanda. It was a great representation of tradition, celebration of life. Everyone's draped in white, and just powerful imagery. The mural on the wall, like, it was a celebration of Chadwick, but obviously there were tears. People were crying all throughout the theater. I could hear the sniffles and the
I was fighting it so hard until the moment that broke me was when the beautiful scene where T'Challa's casket is like being lifted up in the air. But before that, like, Shuri and the Queen are like saying their final goodbye, and then Shuri just runs back and just puts her head on the casket, like just cleans it. Like, I lost it. Like, absolutely lost it. Like, you could tell, like, she was not ready for him to go.
That gesture is so real, and that's what this movie does a great job of, is really portraying grief. Because I've done that before, you know. I've held on and gripped to losing a lost loved one, and that is just so true. You just want to bury your face in them and, like, just
hug them again,
soak it in, like, just squeeze them back to life. And to see that with the casket, dude, I was the same. I was already in tears from the title card, but that one just,
you know, like, when we watch Endgame, you know, it's obviously super sad. It's like, oh, Tony Stark's dead, but, you know, Robert Downey Jr.'s not dead. And it's like, you know, there's always a chance he could come back, but, you know, it's just, this was definitely like the fans' way of saying goodbye to Chadwick, and it was just, it's heart-wrenching. Still is.
And you feel his absence throughout the whole film.
The whole movie.
The whole film, his absence is felt. There's ramifications to the loss of it. Now the world's trying to move in on Wakanda because they think T'Challa's gone. They have no protector. And they find out real fucking quick.
Oh, that UN scene with the Queen, like, was just such a boss move. Just like.
And then the Dora Milaje just bring them in and tell them to kneel. Whoo!
It's like, here are your mercenaries that tried to steal from us. Once again, we control vibranium, not y'all.
And What's up, Super Kamidande? Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. And the
Hello.
Burrito Bowl cosplay, finally saw it on Sunday. Finally saw
Yes.
Wakanda Forever on Sunday. Amazing film. So good.
Best film of the Phase 4,
Oh,
hands
yeah.
down.
And it was the serious tone that we kind of wanted in Thor and just we
Yeah.
wanted from Marvel because this scale, 2 hours, 47 minutes or so, like a really long film, felt like it went by like that because I was in it. I was
Oh,
in
yeah.
it every step of the way. So you could definitely feel Chadwick's absence throughout the entire film. You miss him so dearly, but
Ever, we got another king, though, that I'm
Namor,
just obsessed with. I'm just obsessed with now.
Namor, not
They do
general
not call him
or
General.
king. His people call him Kukulkan, the feathered serpent god. If you haven't been saying that over and over, you're not human. Like I've been repeating
No.
that over Kukulkan, just walking around the house. And I've seen so many TikToks about it too. Kukulkan. Man, Namor, the origin, chef's kiss. Different from the comics. That's
Oh, my
okay. I am
Lord.
here for it. Culturally, what it means for me and other brown skinned people, Latinx, Latin people, it is something else, man. And the story touches on it so clearly. And we've been robbed of our indigenous heritage because, as you see in the film, the natives of the Yucatan and the entire Mexican area were enslaved and forced to assimilate into a Catholic faith that the Spaniards imposed. The conquistadors imposed
We're
it.
hit with diseases.
They got rid of languages. They got rid of music. They burned codex. Like our history was erased so that we could never practice our traditions again and never be in touch with our roots. And then along comes this film, and there's been other representations of it, but this film
Yeah.
on a large scale, on a mass market scale, we're talking 300 plus million opening weekend. This is big. This is huge. Disney, Marvel.
I bet it's going to go up even
Oh yeah.
more this next week with Thanksgiving. Everyone's going to go
Oh
see
yeah.
it next week for
But to
sure.
see this brown man on screen just kill it
To not
every way,
just.
every which way. Tinoch just slaughtered the role, stole every scene he was in. He was menacing while being charming. That is very hard to do.
He was kingly.
Yes.
He was very regal.
He was calm.
Like extremely
He
regal.
was sweet when he needed to be. But when the shit hit the fan and he needed to threaten you, his threats felt real. Like that first interaction with
It's like,
Shuri.
listen, you're a good person, but like, if it comes between you and my people are going to come first every single time.
Like that first scene on the beach. Where he tells him, don't tell
Yeah.
anyone about me. Like, we're not enemies. I need your help here. Just get me the scientist. And then they're like, well, what if we tell them about you? And he just gets real fucking close.
And I love M'Baku's clapback when they have their little council meeting. He's like, if we give this to him, like, what's not to say he's going to ask for more?
Probably my second favorite character in the whole movie is M'Baku. He's so wise, himself so kingly, and they end up having to rely on him heavily when Namor is just done with this shit and he attacks because of actions that they did to rescue Shuri. So I know we're all out of context here, but so I'll get back to the origin. His origin in this one was perfect. El Niño Sin Amor.
Yes.
My people call me Kukulkan, but my enemies call me Namor. And then when he tells that story, it's exactly what a young child would. He doesn't know the language. So he would just take a piece of whatever gibberish this conquistador was spewing at him. And he's like, Namor. All right, that's my name, Namor. You're my enemy. That's what you call me. I'm Namor. And just run with that. It was so perfect. So
it was just heartbreaking watching that, like, just from the point of view of his mother the whole time, just like she's leaving her land that she doesn't want to leave, and then she's changing her body, is terrified of what it's going to do to her and her baby. And then, of course, it makes a miracle child. And
a mutant. Another confirmed
the
mutant.
first mutant.
Yeah, the first mutant in the MCU timeline.
and then to not be able to see your child ever to see that land again, and the last final wish, like, bury me where our people are from, and then to go back there and to see that it's not your land anymore, like, it's absolutely
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
Your people are in chains. Where you come from has been conquered and enslaved. That that was blood boiling to me. I was so angry because it's true. It's like, yes, this is a movie, but that actually happened historically. We were robbed of
Yep.
our history. Our people were enslaved. We were raped. That's how you make a Mexican. You take an indigenous American, you take a Spaniard, and you force one in the other, and you have a Mexican. And a lot of people in Mesoamerica, South America, all the Latin community, that's kind of how you get the recipe. You take some Portuguese or some Spaniard and you force rape a native, and bam, you have a Brazilian or you have a Mexican or Ecuadorian. There's just a history of exploitation for resources, and they touch on that in the movie when he's talking to Shuri. He's like, they enslaved us and took over our land, and are actively coming after us for resources.
So if they hear we have vibranium, like, it's
Yes.
over.
And it's such a parallel to the real world where brown countries are regularly exploited for their resources. As much as I love technology, the chips in my phone that people are watching us on, the devices they're listening to us on, those chips come from brown countries and are dug up by brown people. Those materials are mined by brown people who don't see the profit of their labor.
Nope.
So that's how civilization was made. Doesn't make it right, but it is true. And this movie tries its best to reflect that and also flip the tables. Like, what would you do if these individuals had all this power and could flip the script on you? Like, Trey? I think I lost Trey. Oh no. Have I lost signal altogether? No, just Trey. Okay. We'll wait on getting Trey back. But I will continue talking because, as we've joked, I never need two sides to have a conversation. I'm kind of pretty good about keeping it going. So while Trey remains frozen on the screen, I will continue harping about Tenoch Huerta and his role as Namor. He nails every scene, steals it. The action sequences are so cool. And one thing they were worried about, or my son was worried about, was the wings on the feet. He thought it was going to look cheesy and it wasn't going to be cool. But Trey's back with us. We're trying to get his video feed back up here. But yeah, he thought
I'm
it
still
would
good
look
on
cool.
TikTok, but not on Twitch.
Yeah, you're good now. You're back. I just brought you back into Twitch here, so you're good. I continued talking like you never left. So
okay. But how, like, it's hard not to root for Namor?
Yeah, he's just such an amazing character, and my son thought the wings on the feet were gonna be kind of cheesy or corny.
Yeah.
Because from the trailer, it kind of looks a little weird when he's hovering down, but in the film, no, it was amazing. From the first scene where he's menacing and the lightning bolt, and he's just that helicopter out of thin air, it's serious, man.
Yeah.
He establishes right out the gate he is not T'Challa king. T'Challa king was hesitant to kill, was a noble king. Kukulkan will murder everybody if he needs to keep
the siren song that they all sing to lure all the men. It's like that just feeds into like the mermaid lore and like people lore, and it's just like that's so perfect.
It was so cool, and so much of the Mayan tradition down to the pools of water, because an asteroid actually hit near the Yucatan. That's the asteroid that destroyed the dinosaurs, and it formed these underwater caves where shaman would call them gateways to the gods, because the gods in Mayan lore live underneath the sea. And it's not a hellscape like in Christian mythology. It's an underwater world where gods live. So to see that incorporated into the film is, man. So that's why when they see him rise up out of this gateway to the gods, of course they're going to identify Namor as a god.
Oh yeah.
So it makes total sense. But there's so many characters to love. Like the Dora Milaje, amazing the whole fucking film. Like they're always Okoye is always ready for the
I
smoke.
gave you 6 minutes.
Dude, there's so much to love. Like we haven't even got to Riri. Riri Williams was fantastic in this. Oh shit, she got an Iron Man suit.
One of my favorite lines was just a beautiful little nod to Chadwick when she says to be young, black, and talented or gifted.
To be young, gifted, and black.
Yes. It's like that was just a beautiful little nod to Chadwick.
Yep. I loved it. I caught it and I loved it. I also caught his birthday.
Yep.
Chadwick's birthday on the license plate. There was so many sweet, beautiful Easter eggs in this film, but the acting from the entire cast. Tell me a weak actor in this movie who didn't knock it out the park. You can't.
I'm literally trying to think of one, and I'm like, nope, he had a great part. He was like, oh, Martin Freeman. I was like, no, Martin Freeman had some great scenes where he's just like, I owe Shuri my life. Like, I'm going to help her out.
Yes. Burrito Bowl cosplay makes a good point. I wonder if the wings grow back on the feet.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were clipped right off in that fight with Shuri. Yeah, it was rough. It was intense. I love that action sequence. But yeah, no, every actor was just spot on. Angela Bassett needs a motherfucking award for that role.
Oh, she was, to me, the star of the film.
100%. Carried that queenly weight on her back. And when she passes, Tinoch, you're queen now. Woo, chills, bro. He drowned her in front of everyone, like in front of her daughter, and then just like.
And she went out like a true hero, like trying to save Riri.
Yes, she wasn't even worried about herself. Such a
I
motherly instinct.
I gotta save this child that they're after.
Always for the future. Always for the future. The whole film.
When Lupita's just over her, just saying "mother," like just.
Oh man, that scene broke me because she just banished her.
Yeah.
But she can't unlove someone. Yeah. And the deaths in this movie were intense, but the acting conveying the grief was grade A. It was so intense.
That's what this whole Phase 4 has been about, honestly, is just like grief.
Yes.
In so many of these films.
Yes. Films
and this
series.
One's just
we have
has handled it the best.
We have WandaVision. We have Spider-Man, Loki, even She-Hulk. Even She-Hulk, Love and Thunder. Mm-hmm. You know, Doctor Strange. Like, it's all grief-ridden. Phase 4 is just trauma phase, bro.
And then, of course, No Way Home.
Yes, and still probably one of my favorite lines actually comes from WandaVision about grief, and it makes me water up every time I hear it. But when Vision tells her, what is grief if not love persevering?
Oh yeah,
which is
and
so
one of my
true.
favorite lines from Namor in this one is like, the most broken people make the best leaders.
Yes.
It's just like, whew.
You almost need to be broken to be a great leader. Because then you know the weight of things. You know the consequence of things. You have perspective that other people don't have. If you've never suffered great loss, you're not afraid of it.
Exactly.
And you make rash decisions. Like nothing can go wrong. But if you've experienced those great losses, then you know that it can all flip on a dime. But not only is the acting in this film top notch, the soundtrack, bro.
Oh, Ludwig.
That man
is amazing. To me, he's the modern day John Williams. I don't care what anybody says.
Yes. 100%. 100%. The fact that
he goes a little John Williams and Hans Zimmer and Danny Elfman had like a crazy three-way, like they made Ludwig.
Yes. They made Ludwig, and I love the lengths that he went to get culturally fitting music. He wanted and needed a Mayan rapper. Like he wanted a Mayan musician.
Every time you hear the Wakanda
ancient
music
language of fuck, I'm drawing a blank. No auto.
Yeah.
Yes, he needed somebody to speak the language. and rapping it. And sure enough, there was about 10 rappers in the Yucatan area that could actually do it. And they were like, all right, who can get on this song and do it, like really do it?
They
And
killed
one
it.
person was like, I can. And they were like, all right, you're on a Black Panther soundtrack. Meet me here tomorrow. They got into a small studio. They recorded it. And that's the amazingness that you hear in the movie.
Like I'm trying to remember the name of the song. It's like Brisa or something like that.
Mm.
The song that we hear when you go into Namor's kingdom, and it is
Oh,
just magical. Like just so magical. Like just imagine like the most beautiful marketplace you've ever seen, but it's all underwater. So like
yes.
the limits of gravity are nowhere. So there's like merchants above you and below you. It's just absolutely breathtaking.
And then when he reveals the sun that he brought
Oh
to his
yeah.
people, the light source out of vibranium, dude, it is awesome. And you see the beauty of what he's protecting, and he tells her, "Now you see why I have to be so protective. Because I'm sorry, the surface world is pretty shitty." And
Oh yeah.
oh my god, that scene when they're in the kitchen, and he's like, "What do you think America would do if we had vibranium? What do you think we would do
Oh,
with that?" And she's like, "I dream about it." So
every
cold,
day.
so ugly and callous. Like that character was perfect. Like
Oh yeah.
because that's how an individual in her role
I
would
love the
be.
reveal that her and the agent were married
Yes,
before. It was just like what?
yes. I that was so out of left field. I loved it. I loved it. It was so cool. What do you think about Shuri's interaction with Killmonger?
Oh,
Wasn't expecting to see him. Out of
no,
left field. Completely out of left field. But
it worked.
super fitting. Super fitting. She was filled with rage. She didn't want to become the Black Panther to be the protector of Wakanda. That wasn't.
She
It
didn't even want to
was.
go to the ancestral realm.
Exactly. She didn't even believe in it. But she wanted revenge. She that's what she wanted. She
Yep.
wanted it to set things right by her, not by Wakanda, but by her.
Yeah, just
And
like her cousin.
just like her cousin. And I loved that Killmonger was the individual that she saw. And he said it. He's like, "Are you going to be T'Challa was too noble. Everybody before him was too much of a coward and a hypocrite. I was the only one that got things done." And when she wakes and she's in complete denial, she's forced to face,
And everyone, I love how everyone kept asking her, like, "Who did you
who did
see?"
you see? She just did not want to talk about it.
Mm.
Did not, completely refused. Because again, they would hold a mirror up to her every time.
Yep.
But the parallels were there. The parallels were there. Like, and you can even draw parallels between Killmonger and Namor. Both were willing to kill.
That's the beautiful thing about this film is like you see these two kingdoms at war, but they have so much in common. And I
Mm-hmm.
love that's what we see in the end. It's just like, we have more in common than we are different.
Oh yeah.
And even with the herb, that's what I loved about that. The heart-shaped herb, like literally was the exact like a cousin or something of the same herb that
That
Namor's
made Namor.
ancestors, yeah,
Yes, yes.
made the Black Panther, made Namor. So it's like it's just perfect.
I loved it. I loved all of the connections they had. I love Killmonger being in it. Surprising, but so satisfying.
Well, what's his name? The director. He never does a film without him.
Oh, Ryan
So
Coogler?
yeah, Coogler
Yeah.
will never do a film without
Ryan
Jordan.
Coogler's amazing, man. He's so good. They came up together.
Oh yeah,
Like Michael B. Jordan was in so many of his films that yeah, Ryan definitely tries to
he had
put
to
him
sneak
in
him in
there.
there somehow, and it worked.
It fit. It fit so well. So thank you for that question. Burrito Bowl cosplay with the great questions. But yeah, soundtrack was phenomenal. Overall though, what did you give this film? What's your rating, Trey?
Whew. This is hard because again, I feel like I say this every time when we rate Marvel movies. To me,
Mm-hmm.
like the perfect Marvel movie is like Endgame. Like
Yes.
that's a 10 out of 10.
Yes.
So that being said, this is like a 9,
That's a strong
9 out
rating.
of 10. Yeah,
Strong rating.
it's like I said before earlier. Like it's the best film out of Phase 4.
Yes. Yes.
They
And
definitely ended on a strong note.
I have to agree with you wholeheartedly. 9 out of 10 is my rating. It was everything I wanted and more. I can't give it a 10 just because it's not Endgame. It's not on that
Yeah.
scale. even below Winter Soldier, just slightly, as my second favorite MCU film of all time. But
It's not 10 because you made me cry too much. Like, goddamn y'all.
it was a lot of tears,
Yeah.
dude. We didn't even touch on the part that T'Challa's back.
Oh my
Young
god.
T'Challa.
That part killed me. I was like, I'm already like, I'm watching this beautiful scene where Shuri's like finally accepting her grief and dealing with it, doing what her mother wanted.
Yes.
And she's with like, her brother's love of his life, and like, oh,
And here comes this little guy, little T'Challa,
the cutest little boy ever. Just like, oh, it's like get to meet his auntie,
and realizing that he got to meet his grandma too.
That killed me even more. It was just like, stop.
People were upset there wasn't an end credit scene, but I think it ended perfectly. That was.
Oh yeah, I didn't need to cry anymore.
I can't take anymore. My eyes was all empty.
Then Rihanna's out there just singing her heart out.
Oh,
just God.
Out of nowhere, Riri. You just been laying in the cut till now. Yeah, it was intense. It was definitely a beautiful, beautiful film. 9 out of 10 from both of us. So yeah, definitely go watch it if you haven't. Can't recommend it enough.
Go see it twice.
I've seen it twice, and I caught things
to get all the money it can get.
Yes, I caught it the second time. I caught things I didn't catch the first time around.
Get all your family together, and go see it.
It is.
Like,
it is a great family.
The representation of that movie was beautiful. Yes. And I'm saying this as a colonizer.
Yeah, as a colonizer.
A colonizer.
You're Everett, bro. You're one of the good guys.
Okay.
I
love that line. A colonizer in chains. I've seen everything.
I've seen everything. that character is hilarious, and I love it. I can't wait to see my favorite colonizer.
Yes.
Oh man.
They were all queens.
Yes, the ladies in this film, chef's kiss across the board. Every single one of them.
The way Lupita can just seamlessly go from language to language to language in that movie was just
so talented,
mind blowing. So talented. Just like, you're amazing.
And the physicality of Okoye in that film, fighting like supreme. And we didn't even touch on the Midnight Angels. There's so much. Go watch the film. Go watch the film. You're gonna love it. You won't regret it. But we go from Wakanda to an animated realm of Pokemon, where there have been some milestones and some blunders. Pokemon
monsters.
The Pocket Monsters. What's going on in the Pokemon space, my dude?
Oh man, I think we should start, I guess, kind of in a controversial note. The new Pokemon game, Scarlet and Sapphire, I believe are the names of them.
Yeah,
I could be wrong. But like in traditional 90s Game Boy, they came out with 2 versions of the game, which means both games have different versions of Pokemon that you can catch and play with and interact with.
Yes.
Which is amazing to do. And it's just a big old hit of nostalgia. I really want to play this game, but I'm hesitant to buy it because I'm hearing very mixed reviews. I think the diehard Pokemon fans love it. But then overall gaming fans in general, I'm hearing that the game has a lot of technical bugs still.
And it sucks because Nintendo hasn't really ever had that issue. That's an Xbox issue. That's a Sony issue. That's a PC issue. Unfinished games don't generally come to Nintendo. So the fact that that's maybe the case is not a good look.
Yeah, it's like I'm waiting to hear from some more friends that are diving into it this weekend and see what they think. But from the general, big page reviews, I'm hearing technical glitches here left and right, that the game just doesn't run smoothly the way it's supposed to or it was intended.
Yeah, it's lacking Pokemon.
It's lacking Pokemon in this huge open world, because the minute I heard it was 3D open world Pokemon space, I'm in.
Yeah, it sounds cool as fuck.
Exactly. And it's I would love to do that. And a friend of ours was like, oh, I'll get this one, you get that one. And then of course we can trade different Pokemon from each versions of the game. It's like we're kids again.
Yes.
So it's who wouldn't want to do that?
Who wouldn't want a little bit of nostalgia?
But speaking of nostalgia in the Pokemon universe, our boy Ash Ketchum.
Ash Ketchum?
Ash?
Oh my bad. I heard that all wrong. I was like, he's catching Ash
Ketchum? Yeah, probably now.
Yeah, why?
Because after 25 years of him on the quest to be the very best, he is the world champion.
Woo! He did it, folks.
Best Pokemon trainer in the world.
It's about drive. It's about power.
With his boy Pikachu.
Oh, is that the duo that won it?
Oh yeah.
He went with the horse that brought him to the race. That's
Yes.
beautiful.
And I've seen clips of it, and it's so emotional. It's like I'm crying over Pikachu and Ash, just like, oh my god, they did
We're
it!
Pokemon Master Champions.
Pika Pika!
Never mind. That movie made us cry as children when Ash died, and
Yes.
it got us
Oh,
one of the saddest scenes in cinema history. But he made it.
but one gripe, it's amazing that our boy did it, but it's been 25 years. Like, you couldn't have made him more of a man or something.
25 years in our world. It's been a year in his. So
Yeah, exactly.
only a year's gone by. You think that's bad? Bart Simpson's the same age.
Yeah. Stewie Griffin, too.
Like Stewie, you got no shortage of characters that aren't ever aging, ever. So
South Park cast.
yeah. Oh yeah, all the South Park kids are still.
I will say, out of all the franchises, I loved. A lot of people didn't like it. I loved when the Rugrats did Rugrats All Grown Up.
Yes.
It was like, oh, Tommy's not a baby anymore.
They looked a little weird, but I was still on board. But
Yes.
if you don't want to play video games, you can still watch things on the small screen. If you can't make it to the movies, we have a holiday break coming up. There's plenty of things to watch.
With the fam.
Yeah, with the fam. You said there was a new Disney Plus series?
Yes, to get you into the holiday spirit, I will be waiting a few weeks to watch
Trey's
it.
favorite time of year.
Yeah, sure. The Santa Claus is starring Tim Allen.
Yes. The Santa Claus, Tim Allen, same cast, coming back in series form, not in a film.
Yes, and my favorite elf of all time, Bernard, is back.
Yes.
And she's just like, yes, let's go.
You wanted nostalgia? Disney's got you covered. But that's not the only holiday film. Lindsay Lohan has a Christmas film on Netflix that I actually got the opportunity to watch, and I love it. I'm a huge fan of cheesy Christmas movies, Christmas rom-coms, Hallmark Christmas movies. I am a glutton for all of it. So yeah, her latest Netflix film is a great Christmas movie. She plays a character who gets amnesia, a rich socialite influencer type who ends up getting amnesia and kind of stays with a family in this little lodge, and there's a whole love story from there. It's a nice film. It's a nice Christmas movie. It's what you expect from a Christmas movie, and I can't recommend it enough. It is so nice. And I finally started Cabinet of Curiosities too, which Guillermo.
There's one Guillermo project that I'm waiting for, and it's the stop motion fairy tale Pinocchio.
I watch anything he makes because these little shorts are insane.
He's a great director.
And I'm drawing a blank on the director, Jordan Peele. Him and Jordan Peele, right there with telling the creepiest stories.
Oh yeah, they can do horror so well.
They do the genre so right. So if you want to watch Christmas stuff, those are a couple.
If you don't want to watch Christmas
you
stuff, and you don't want to watch something scary,
no.
The sequel to the Disney classic Disenchanted came out today and is out on Disney Plus. If you want to see some Amy Adams, but from what I could tell, it looks like it's taken a dark turn in it. So maybe it might be a little scary. I don't know. I don't know.
What about Andor? Is that finished? Is that wrapping up?
Their finale is coming this week on Wednesday.
Ooh.
Right before Turkey Day.
Right before Turkey Day. So if you haven't watched it, you can get on it and binge that.
Binge it.
Now, the #1 streaming show in the world returned on Sunday. Yellowstone came back with a 2-hour bang of a premiere, and I was eating it all up. I loved it. And I got into this series just last year when some friends kept posting about it. I was like, all right, let's see what it's about. I love Kevin Costner. Let's give it a shot. All 3 seasons in like 2 weeks. I was hooked.
Did you watch it? Be honest with me. Did you get into that show because it's Superman's dad?
No, I got into that show because it's Robin of Locksley. That's how I got introduced to Kevin Costner. That's how old I am. That's the Prince of Thieves right there.
Not Waterworld?
No, not Waterworld. Dances with Wolves, Postman. Like, I go back with my Kevin Costner. It was just cherry on top that he was Superman's dad. But I love Yellowstone. I love Yellowstone. I love this season. Oh, man, Beth. This just all the freaking every character in that show is great. The writing is still amazing. I'm on the edge of my seat.
I've only seen the first season of that show, and it was good. I just keep forgetting to hop back
If
on
you
that
think
wagon.
the first season's good, bro, the next
Oh, I've heard nothing but
three,
good things.
it only gets better. I don't know how the fuck they keep doing it. They're gonna run out of writing eventually, but it
They
hasn't
keep
jumped
doing
the shark yet.
spin-off shows too. What was it, 1812 or whatever?
1883 was an
1883.
amazing spin-off show. I
Now
watched
they're coming with a new one. I think I saw it was like
1923.
1923
I'm gonna watch that with
with
Harrison
Harrison
Ford.
Ford and Helen Mirren.
Yes, Helen Mirren and
Ooh.
Harrison Ford. Yes, the Dutton family goes back long, man. Start with 1883. You can work your way up. It's an amazing series. I cannot get enough of it. It's now a Yellowstone universe. 100%. It's a Yellowstone universe now. That is what they've established. They have spin-off shows, and I think they're doing a 4D's Ranch spin-off of Yellowstone, which is a real ranch in Texas. So, yeah. The 4-6s, I'm sorry, not 4D's, 4-6 Ranch in North Texas. Yes. It's so good. I don't know. Normally, I wouldn't be into shows like Yellowstone. No, I'm lying. I love Westerns. So modern Western, so good. Can't say enough good things about Yellowstone. But yeah, that's kind of the show because that's all the streaming stuff we really have.
No,
we got more.
Do we want to talk about? There's been some teases going on from a certain director lately. That it's just like, quit playing with our emotions, man. Like, just come out and say it.
James Gunn
like first you teased Lobo, and now you're teasing Fair Play.
After being announced as CEO, he's just like teasing everything. Oh, my brother says The Mighty Ducks on Disney Plus. That also came back. So there's another show. But yeah, James Gunn is just teasing. It's like he loves the fact that he's CEO and he can kind of play with it. And he can also test interest by doing that. If he teases images and the people get a big swell and response like Lobo did, then you could go back to the studio and say, hey, there's an audience for this.
Oh, yeah.
So he knows what he's doing. I trust James Gunn. Great director. I mean, he made Peacemaker work, so...
He's like, do you really want to taste it?
I hope the movies are nothing like it, but because it works for that. It works for that. Yeah. Like, if every movie was a Deadpool film, I don't think I would like the Marvel's universe either. It works where it works. So, but also, not the only sneak peek, John Wick 4.
Ooh.
The trailer for John Wick 4 was nice.
Donnie Yen, the Ip Man.
Yes. That fight scene is going to be so epic.
It looks like he's blind in this. Yes. It's the second time he's playing a blind martial artist.
Yes, and they're like gunfighting turns into sword play, and I'm here for it, man. Whew. I'm here for all the John Wick films. But yeah, that's the week in news, guys. I think we talked about everything. We talked ad nauseum about Black Panther. Go see it for yourself. Oh, yeah. Don't take our word for it. But if you do want to take it, 9 out of 10 from me and Trey. That's what we say.
Bring your tissues.
Bring your tissues, for sure. But thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Burrito Bowl Cosplay, and all the people commenting questions. Thank you to my baby brother, always, for fucking with us during the show. Like only he can. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We are out this bitch. And